Last time I was in Morecambe, I was out on the sands with Cedric Robinson and a party of tourists, finding out where you can walk and where you really shouldn't. Walking the streets of Morecambe today, you can see that the place has struggled to free itself from the dog days of the 60s and 70s, when it was abandoned for warmer climes. But it wasn't always like this. Morecambe was named after the bay on which it relied for trade and fishing. Then workers from the industrial cities started to holiday here, and it got a new nickname, Bradford-on-Sea. Famed for its smog-free air and wonderful views, it became a place of escapism, with everyday cares left inland. Then we began to go abroad on holiday, and the British seaside paid the price. But rumours of Morecambe's death may have been exaggerated, because here, where the pier meets the central promenade, is what looks like a demolition site. But in fact, it's anything but. Underneath all that scaffolding is an internationally renowned architectural masterpiece. It's also an icon that has always been the barometer for Morecambe's health and well-being. That is the Midland Hotel. Commanding the seafront, the Midland is Morecambe's celebrated centrepiece. Built by a railway company in 1933, the hotel, like the town, first boomed and then bust. When developers Urban Splash started to redevelop it in 2003, it was almost derelict. But site manager Kieran Gardner sees beyond the shell. Good, good. That's good. So this is an Art Deco masterpiece, is it?
Yeah, work's in progress at the moment, though.
And what does survive in terms of original features?
Well, here you can see we've got some of the original artwork. This here is an Eric Gill piece, which is probably the most famous piece within the hotel itself. Right. It's made out of Pericut Portland stone, and it depicts Neptune coming out of the sea. The inscription is quite nice here. It's from Homer's The Odyssey.
There is good hope that thou may seest thy friends.
That's right, yeah. Which I think is quite a nice touch for the hotel.
And I can't help but notice this coastline is the path I'm taking. I started out at Southport, and I'm following that line. That's a cracker as well.
This is another Eric Gill piece. It was done with his son-in-law, Dennis Tettingmeyer.
There's something very optimistic somehow about the style of that. It's so bright and young.
Yeah. I've always found that there's a certain amount of optimism comes with being on the coast, and coastal dwellers have that, and I very much believe that. The Midlands design reflected the modernist movement seen abroad, with its aim of achieving unity in decoration and architecture. When the hotel first opened, in the depression of the 1930s, optimism was badly needed. Its Art Deco architecture was an extravagant gesture of hope, and it worked. Morecambe became an international destination for the sophisticated holidaymaker. How are you doing? Shall we have a seat? Harry Adams remembers the hotel in its heyday. When did you work at the Midland, Harry?
From 1936 to 1939.
And what was your job?
First job was a page boy, but I sometimes had to act as a junior porter. Chef was a Frenchman, a Mr. Massey. The head waiter was Italian. The manager was a Swiss, Mr. August. The head wine waiter was English. The other page boy was on with me, was a Spanish boy.
Quite a continental mix for the northwest of England in the 30s.
That's right, yes.
What about the guests? What kind of people came to the hotel?
Mostly moneyed people. Stopped for a week, 2 weeks, a month, something like that. The evening's best when the gents were dressed up in the tuxedos, the ladies in the gowns, coming down that wonderful staircase. I used to love that. I hadn't been there very long, and a gentleman begged me, would I take a message up to room number so-and-so? So I went up, knocked on the door. The lady answered. I said, a page boy, madam, with a message for you. She said, come in. So I went in, opened the door, There she stood in bra and knickers. And I was 15 years old. I'd never seen anything like that before in my life.
What did you do?
Got out as quick as possible. Don't say I'm doing that.
Any regrets?
No.
The restoration of the Midland isn't a throwback to the 1930s. When it reopens in 2008, it will be refitted throughout, right up to the roof terrace. But while the building can be regenerated, what about the town? Why Morecambe? With the best will in the world, it seems quite a punt to take on a depressed area.
Well, you only have to look out across the bay at the view that we have here. It's outstanding. It's a fabulous bay, and it's probably Morecambe's biggest asset.
And you think that the presence of this hotel will be enough to bring new life back?
People have seen the hotel more as a mirror for the fortunes of the town. With the works that we're intended to do here, they see it as a renewed faith or confidence, actually, in Morecambe itself.